Greetings, this is Charles Darwin, and today I have a Bible. Now, when I was alive, I didn't read the Bible very much. I read some of it at school, and I read some of it to me. But I did happen to run across the last book of the Bible. It was known as the book of Revelation, also known as the Apocalypse. And this was supposed to be a vision that somebody named John had, and it is one of the most terrifying and disgusting pieces of ancient literature that I've ever seen. First, there's the 7 seals. And as the Son of Man opens the 7 seals, the first 4, out come the famous 4 horsemen of the apocalypse that you've heard about. Death, famine, pestilence, and war. And then as if that's not enough, finally you get to the 7th seal. And you think, oh, thank God, it's just about over. But what should happen? You open the 7th seal, and out comes 7 trumpets. And as each of the 7 trumpets sounds, there's more disgusting things happening. Fire coming down out of heaven and people dying. Anyway, the climax is the Battle of Armageddon. And the anti-hero in the story is the beast and the woman riding on the beast. And the number of the beast was 666. Now, ever since the book of Revelation was written, people have been afraid of the number 666. It frightens them. And this is so serious that the people who lived in area code 666 in the United States were able to get that area code changed. And the people who lived along US Highway 666 that was in Arizona and New Mexico were able to get the highway renumbered. We're almost as afraid of the number 666 as we are of the 13th floor of a building. And this is all because of the book of Revelation. Now, the Battle of Armageddon itself was supposed to have, and this is an exact number from the book, 200 million cavalrymen fighting. 200 million. And not only that, but the book says that the blood was flowing so deep in this battle that it went up to the bridles of the horses. Now, most scholars understand that this book is symbolic, that it was written in order to encourage the Christians of the 1st century AD to stand up against the persecution of the Romans. Therefore, the beast referred to the Roman Empire. Now, how do we know that? We know it because the city referred to in the book of Revelation was on 7 hills, just like Rome. And also, since persecution in Rome began under Emperor Nero, it turns out that if you follow the rules of biblical numerology, the way they were practiced in the 1st century AD, if you add up the letters Caesar Nero, you end up with 666. So it's very clear that this was a book written in code to tell the Christians to stand up against persecution. Of course, they didn't say in the book that it was about Rome. Of course they wouldn't do that, because suppose the Romans found the book, that would be written evidence of sedition against the Roman Empire, and it would have been very terrible for the Christian church, even worse than it actually was. So they wrote it in code. But the symbolism that's there just goes on and on and on, chapter after chapter of horrible things happening. I tell you, John claimed to be having a vision, but I think I have to ask, what was he smoking? He must have gotten some really bad hash from Damascus. Well, there are many preachers who claim that the events of the book of Revelation have not happened yet, that they're going to happen, and that in order to understand what's going to happen at the end of the world, which is about to occur, you have to know the way to interpret the book of Revelation. You have to have the secret, the key to the book of Revelation, especially to know what the number 666 refers to. Now you can see that these preachers who want to get you to send them money and to believe everything that they say so that that gives them a sense of power, they wouldn't do very well if they said, oh, don't worry about Revelation, that refers to the Roman Empire, that was a long time ago. No, if you're going to give them money, and if they're going to have popularity, they have to say, the events of Revelation are about to occur, and I have the key to the book of Revelation. Well, could these events actually be true? And in order to find out about this, I decided to do a little bit of mathematics. Now, as it turns out, the average human has 5 liters of blood. And so how much blood would you be able to get from those 200 million cavalrymen if each of them lost all of his blood and all of the blood was accumulated in one place? How much blood would that be? I use the metric system now because it's so much easier to work with, but it turns out that if you do the calculations, it would be 1,000 cubic meters. That's a lot of blood, but remember, this is from 200 million warriors. Now, how much area would this blood cover if the blood was, in fact, as deep as a horse's bridle? Let's use 1.5 meters, 1.5 meters as a typical depth that might be. How much area could that blood cover? 1,000 cubic meters of blood divided by 1.5 meters of depth. What would the area be? Let me do this. Divided by 1.5, and that. I found the key to the book of Revelation. Look, it's right here. I found the number of the beast, 666. You get the number of the beast by taking the 1,000 cubic meters of blood and dividing it by 1.5 meters of depth of the blood. And you end up with the number of the beast. What? Here it is. Here it is. I've been wrong all these years. I've been wrong about everything. I'm going to have to change everything I do. I'm going to become a preacher, and I'm going to tell everybody about how I have found the secret to the book of Revelation. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Maybe I need to think about this a little bit before I go and change everything that I've written and everything that I've said. Okay, I can't really think clearly right now. I'll get back to you later about whether I actually do become an apocalyptic preacher of the end times. This is Charles Darwin. Tally ho, and amen.